And we're back. Part 3 of this week's YAWA.
Kat got herself a quick refill on the Ginhito.
Little too much mint. I need like a strainy glass or a straw. I need a straw. That would get me under all of the mint.
And we're out of the mint again. Thank you guys for supplying the gin and the Hito and the
They've
fixins.
been amazing.
Fantastic.
Super refreshing on a day like today.
The gin was really, really, really good too.
Yes. I will probably use the rest of it in more mojitos and something else because I have a fancy purple drink that I really like too.
I feel like I like that almost better than what do you typically put rum in, a white rum, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
I've never made a mojito. You make all my drinks.
Bartender.
So thank you for that.
Or wait. Mixologist.
What's the difference?
I don't have any idea.
Okay, well, because he doesn't know the difference.
We have a couple minutes.
Some questions.
Guys, if you haven't watched part 1 and part 2 yet, we talked about some real cool stuff.
Some things that I was very passionate about in both part 1 and part 2. Like,
yes.
Felt strongly for.
We put a lot of into that, and we want you all to go back and watch it. Any of you that are just tuning into our channel for the first time, you clicked on this video, you know anything else about us, yada yada, hit the subscribe button. There's going to be more of this stuff, and we appreciate all of y'all for subscribing.
Yes, and I thought this was a really great question and something that I didn't really think about answering ever. So I want to answer it from one of our top fans on Facebook.
Hey, Facebook top fan.
So the account is from Eric Doan, but it says, "Hi, this is Genevieve. My dad and I are watching your training videos nightly."
Right,
awesome. I'm glad that you're able to do that with your dad. That's so cool. We watched the whole Quest series and now are on to Fox. Can you give me an update on how they're doing and how old they are now? Ooh. So I thought this was a really great question because we do have a couple series. We've got our Quest series, Rogue series, some of Fox's series, our Mac series, and our Sprigg series with the lab puppy. All the rest were short hairs. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I didn't really think about. You know, we do those series. We show their puppy training. Some of the puppy training series go from around 8 weeks to a year, and then give
or take, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, poof, they're done. Poof, now what?
They're gone.
Right? So Quest, she is doing
first and
great.
Foremost, Quest.
Yeah, because she's my favorite. I love that little girl. So she is over 2 now. She turned 2 in May. Her and Ethan actually share a birthday.
Birthday twin.
And she's actually doing awesome. She's a great family dog, as well as she's getting ready to have her, well, she hasn't been bred for her first litter yet, but she will be. That is the ultimate goal for her. Mm-hmm. And we are in the process of doing some formal steadiness work with her. If you've been following along with any of our other YouTube series, which if you turn on the notifications and subscribe, you'll see them over here somewhere. We've been doing that training steadiness with Hatch. Well, we're going through the same thing with Quest, and we threw up a live video on Instagram TV the other day with one of her training sessions. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of peek in and see how she's doing now. She has been phenomenal. So she's doing great. Rogue is, how old is Rogue now?
Wait. Everybody hit the like button for Quest.
Yeah,
just real quick,
everybody loves Quest. If you don't like Quest, there's something wrong with you. So then there's Roguelet. Roguelet. We always have nicknames for our dogs. She is 2.5, probably, because she's just a little bit older than Questy Pup. And she's doing great. She has finished her trained retrieve. She's actually going to go live with a really great friend of ours in Michigan.
Yep.
So Ryan is going to take really great care of that little girl. And we're super happy because we're going to get to see her all the time during hunting season because we hunt with him a lot. And then Mac, who is one of the first series that we did, they are a little rough around the edges, shot with an iPhone, terrible audio,
it's
kind
bad.
of the beginning. He's doing great. He lives with his family, and he is, I think, probably 3 now. Maybe 3.5 even.
Lives in Ohio.
I think Ohio. My mom actually took a road trip to get him to his new family, and she got lost on the way. So
where did she end up in?
I don't know.
She was headed to Dublin, Ohio. She had to drive through Dublin, Ohio. And she ended up driving through Dublin, Indiana, or something to that effect. I don't know. It was
hours out of her
way out of the way.
She's like, well, I'm just sightseeing. If you ever meet my mother, she's the sweetest lady. And she helped us out by getting him to his new family. But so doing great. And then Fox, she actually went back to her breeder where we got her in Wisconsin. And I'm sure she's doing great as well. And then Sprig, he finished his training at about a year and went back up to Wisconsin to Stone Kennels. We got to do a culmination video with him and his daddy Brock, with Josh and Ethan. And if you haven't seen that, definitely you can check it out on our YouTube channel as well. And
he's moving into advanced handling. He's doing a bunch of other stuff now. He actually mentioned to me, he's like, I don't know, do any of you guys really want to see how Sprig progresses? So if you guys do want to see that, definitely throw it in the comments below. Let us know. And then I can meet up with Josh. I know that he kind of mentioned something about coming down and hunting dove season here in Kansas. So there's
Which would be in September.
Yes, there's a potential that we could do like a coming home again type of video or something to that effect, kind of to see his progress, where he's at, or some progression along the way. But definitely let us know in the comments if that's something you're interested in seeing.
Yeah, and I know that they throw some stuff up on their Instagram story every once in a while that he's in as well. So you might be able to catch snippets if you check them out.
Again, it's Stone Kennels. You can hit them up on Instagram and I believe Facebook. But
definitely Instagram, though, I know.
I've been catching on their Instagram stories every once in a while. Spriggy's out there doing his thing. So.
Yes. So that was a really great segue into this next question from KK.
KK. All right, what's the question?
On Instagram. How do you determine who mates with who? Once they've been paired up, do you mix and match again or keep them together to get the same temperament of puppies? And that's a really good question.
It's a superb question.
Yes. And we put a lot into determining who's going to be bred to who. Ethan.
A lot? We put everything into determining
what's more than a lot. Yes.
Everything.
We put a ton of time into figuring out who should be bred to who. We have a pedigree program that we put in all of the dogs from every pedigree.
We evaluate 10 generations.
Which ends up being 2,046 dogs.
Boom.
And that is a lot of data to enter into a program that then calculates things like coefficient of inbreeding, unique dogs, and continue. He's the person that knows this stuff. I just am really good at 10 key and data entry, so he is. Yeah, absolutely. Ends up recruiting me for data entry only.
Yes, we look at the total number of times that specific ancestors show up. And when we're doing all of that, it's all to evaluate what potentially a litter could produce. Then once we have the puppies on the ground, we see mom, we see dad, and then we can say, yes, this is something we 100% want to do again. For example, Grit being bred to Vex, we have repeated a couple times, and I guess 3 times now.
Their third litter is just on the ground. They're so cute. They were just born last Saturday. Check them out on our Instagram and Facebook pages. Give them a like. Give them some love. They are so stinking cute. And I gave them an adorable litter theme.
It's adorable. All with the help of our employees. It was all their ideas. So,
I was like, give me your name ideas.
Give me your name ideas. Some of them were good. Some of them were bad. Some of them were fantastic. And those are the ones we chose.
None of them were bad.
Some of them were bad.
Okay. You only disliked the Harry Potter theme names because you don't watch Harry Potter or know the names. And he's like, I would never know which puppies are which.
Gryffindor. I know something about Harry Potter. All right. So now, all of that being said, we look at those things, and then going forward, on paper, we have these things, then the puppies come out, then we evaluate them through our training program, which is huge. Dogs come in for training. We get to say, ooh, they figured this out really well. Ooh, they didn't figure this out as fast as what we would like. And then we can, regroup and decide our next litter, which would people that are asking, can we get on your waiting list? Can we get a puppy from you? Can we do these things? All of that being said, then they say, hey, what's your planned breeding for next year and the year after and so on and so forth. And we say, we don't know. And the reason is because we're trying to evaluate. And once we've evaluated, we can say, we're going to repeat this or we're going to not. Now, on occasion, we make that joke. Yes, these dogs are married. That means it's the only cross that's going to happen. But even that, there's the potential for something. For example,
with Grit and Vex, we've been super happy with their litters, but we've repeated the breeding 3 times. And
we have multiple options to continue that line. And Grit's a producer. She's made some really nice puppies, and we may have the opportunity to try something different.
And we're always looking to add and grow our breeding program and move it in the direction we're looking for. But if we have the exact same puppy out of the exact same cross over and over, that's not getting us anywhere else. So we may look at breeding her to something else and evaluating those puppies as well. So yes, a lot of times if we've got a really good cross, we will repeat it once, twice, maybe even 3 times, and then look at what else looks good on paper that we can put to practice and see and evaluate those puppies as well to continue moving our breeding program in the direction that we are looking to ultimately get it to, which there's never a perfect dog out there, but that's always our goal and always what we're striving to do.
And in that situations, there are some times when you can say, a specific female is a producer, which is a thing, or a specific male is a producer. They throw themselves or they throw a lot of themselves and you get small pieces of the opposite or whoever they're bred to. And sometimes I'll joke about and say, they could be bred to a fence post and produce a nice dog. And in that situation, it may be better from a breeding program's perspective to say, all right, we're going to try you to this male that has these things, and then to this male that has these things, and to this male that has these things, so that we get a selection, if you will, and the potential for multiple options to add to our program to continue to improve. And as we continue those things, we're always evaluating. We keep a dog, and even those dogs, once they get the opportunity to grow, which, we're talking about a 2-year development process, usually on the minimum before we're getting to the point, like Quest is just over 2 years. She hasn't been bred yet or produced a litter of puppies. And, so it's a big time commitment. It's a big commitment to take to say, all right, this little fluff ball at 8 weeks old.
Which most short hairs aren't fluffy, but we get your point.
Yeah. This little pupper.
There we go.
This little pupper is going to someday be part of our program, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Now they have a lot of hoops to jump through.
Big shoes to fill.
Once they jump through the hoops, they have more hoops to jump through. And
which includes health clearances, testing them, and then, evaluating, are they truly a dog that we want to live with and be part of our family? Because we're looking at the whole picture. Mm-hmm. We want healthy dogs, we want hunting dogs, and we want family dogs, because those are all parts of our breeding philosophy and things that we're looking to, continue breeding towards.
Yeah, typically we describe it as we're producing family-oriented, versatile companions, and in that order. They have to be able to be livable. They have to be able to be part of the family. And if they can't meet that criteria, then we find them an environment that fits them, whether that's a search and rescue dog or detection dog or some other form of working dog. And once they meet that criteria, I can be a family companion. Then we say, all right, are you good enough of a hunting dog? I guide a lot. I travel a lot to hunt. Kat and I travel a lot to hunt. And all of those things require a dog to be not only above average from the family aspect of things, but above average from the hunting aspect of things, because the level of expectation is really, really high. I think that a majority of the people that I guide for ask me back for the dogs. I don't think it has a whole lot to do with me. It's like, I'm excited to see Muddy. She is a showstopper.
Favorite.
Yeah. And one guy actually told me the other day, he said, hey, I saw your dog in one of the magazines, because we did an advertisement photo with Yukonuba. They took one of our pictures to use in one of their ads, and it's been in a couple different magazines. Like, hey, I saw in Shooting Sportsman, I saw in Pheasants Forever, I saw in don't know, some of the other ones. There's a few of them. I saw this picture of Vex, whatever, where's Muddy at? And his actual words were, Muddy needs a new agent. I can't believe she hasn't made it in a magazine yet. So, but everybody loves Muddy. A lot of people love Vex. A lot of people love Nix. A lot of people love Shooter. All of the dogs, and it's really, 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 really hard not to love Quest. And this will be her big year as far as developing. It's her second season. She's really going to turn it on and show all of the big things. So it's, it's important to be able to do the family aspect of things and the hunting aspect of things. So,
and the last thing that I want to mention is we are very fortunate because we work with some really great families, some really great people that get puppies from us, and they trust us, and they, are wanting great family hunting dogs, and they send their dogs back to us for training, which is amazing, because not only do I love working with our puppies when they're a little bit older, but also it allows us to continue evaluating that breeding at 6 months old and 9 months old and 12 months old. Heck, we've got Cazador back in, and he is 3.5, 4 years old now. And so I'm getting to evaluate him again as well, from a breeding that we did 4 years ago. So that is something that we're very fortunate about, being able to continue evaluating that litter, as well as we require our puppies to run through the NAVDA natural ability test, which whether the dog comes to us for training, which is awesome because we get to get hands-on training and evaluating and then running them for those clients. But some people want to do it all themselves, which is also awesome. But I get to review those testing records and look at their water and their search and their nose and their desire and their cooperation. And I get to look at all of those things from just that puppy natural ability test and go, hey, that looks like it lines right up with the rest of the litter. This was a great litter. Or I say, these puppies all, struggled a little bit with their water this time. Or, maybe they weren't as cooperative on paper as I'd like. And maybe we'll change up that breeding next time. Yep. So that's a really great evaluation tool for us as well, which is why we require those puppies from our breeding program to run through that test so that we can continue putting our program and our breeding program in the direction that we want it.
100%. That's a great, great question. And folks, that's all the time that we have for this week. We appreciate everybody that sent us in questions. And for those of you that didn't get your questions answered,
because there were a ton of questions about healing and easy leads. And I definitely want those people to have an opportunity to reach out to us for more help, especially if you're using our easy lead. Message us or hit us up on Patreon, because those are places that we're actually able to really evaluate your healing session and go, this is where you need to make a change. And just reading a text or reading a question or reading a message doesn't give us enough information on saying, well, this is what you're doing wrong. Well, I can't see that. So if you shoot a video of it and put it up on Patreon, I'm able to go, try this. And believe me, there are so many people that they go, wow, just that one thing has changed the way that we've healed, and the easy lead is working phenomenally now. So
100%. Check us out. It's patreon.com/Standing Stone Kennels. And we get to those questions every single day. I mean, there's a very few occasions that we don't, but it's Monday
very
through
consistent.
Saturday. We are very, very consistent on getting to your questions. So if you didn't get them answered this week, please hit us up there, patreon.com/Standing Stone Kennels. And guys, I'm the guy with the pink gun.
And I'm Kat, the dog trainer.
And we are, I'm
not out of mojito.
No, we're not, but we're definitely out of time. We will see you guys next week. Thanks again for all the questions. We'll see you next week.
In the next video.
In the next video.
I think you said next week like 5 times.
Hey, that's all right. Next week, baby! Woo!